Oh yeah. So the View's pissed and they're going off.
Last night, you know who celebrated his 80th birthday at an event billed as UFC Freedom 250, featuring cage matches on the South Lawn of the White House. White House denies accusations that he's cashing in on the event, saying there's no conflict of interest because you know whose assets are in a trust managed by his kids. If it's in a trust and I'm managing it, maybe he's not going to get no money. But if it's in a trust and his kids are managing it, they might get some money. He might get some money.
Correct.
But that's neither here nor there. There was also one fighter who used his victory speech to make a derogatory slur against former First Lady Michelle Obama. What did you make of yesterday's event?
I do want to address the derogatory slur made about the former First Lady Michelle Obama, because I think it's important to address. And we won't dignify what was said by repeating it, but you should look it up. And I think the reason that it's important is because for a long time, and the roots are in slavery, Black women have been slurred.
What he said was Michelle Obama is a man.
That they were unattractive, made to feel that they were masculine, made to feel that they were, they didn't have the femininity that a white woman would have. And so there's this intersectionality between racism and sexism that was on full display at the White House. The crowd laughed at the statement, and the President of the United States smirked, and never addressed what was said. That is beneath the dignity of the office.
Okay, hold on. So she's going off about how the president smirked and the fans laughed. Okay, well, maybe it was funny, maybe it wasn't. For how many years, 10 or 14 years, that what they've been saying about him, about Trump, all the comments, everything they've said about him, and the whole left side is cracking jokes and laughing about it. So what, we can't laugh when someone makes a joke? It doesn't make any sense.
The President of the United States, and it's beneath the dignity of the American people.
I don't do sports, and I'm not a New Yorker, but you all have worn me down. These bitches have been wearing me down. I am now also rooting for the next fan. And I want us to hold on to that feeling of unity and joy and celebration of the best in America. And so I'll tell you, I didn't watch 1 second of that UFC fight because to me, that does not celebrate America's 250th anniversary. That does not signify America's best values. I'll tell you, he is so obsessed. They live rent-free in their head. But I'm going to tell you how I'm going to celebrate the 250th anniversary. Number one.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about this. He didn't even make the comment. He didn't say anything about Obama or Michelle Obama. So why are you even tagging him to what Hokit said about her? But when your side does crazy stuff and says crazy things, you don't comment about it. You say nothing. You sit back and you laugh, or you make jokes about him, and don't say anything about what other people are saying. It's crazy.
I am going to, on Thursday, is the opening of the Open in Chicago. And so,
That looks horrible. What is that building?
I'm going to be watching the live stream. I'm going to be celebrating the fact that he was the first black president elected in this country in 250 years. So you can tune in and you can watch the live stream. And the other thing I'm going to do to celebrate the birthday of America is come November, I'm going to show up and I'm going to vote out the feckless Republicans who are putting no accountability on this administration.
And yesterday, as you all know, we celebrated 6 months of the Trump administration. It's been a pleasure to work with all of you day in and day out here at the White House. 6 months, the most transparent administration in history, if I may add. And I know the president just wanted me to highlight his accomplishments over the past 6 months. As you all remember, because you all covered it on the campaign trail, the president really promised the American people many things, but at the top of that list was to defeat the Biden inflation crisis and to secure our border and our homeland. And I think you've all seen in 6 months' time, the president has delivered on those two core campaign promises. Inflation is now running at a 2.1% annual rate. You look at our southern border, look at the numbers. Just last month, 0 illegal aliens were released into our country. And then look at what the president has done on the world stage. He has ended wars like India and Pakistan. He continues to work aggressively to end the war in Russia and Ukraine. He completely obliterated Iran's nuclear sites. He has continued to hopefully negotiate a ceasefire between Israel and Gaza to end that conflict and release all of the hostages. We've seen many of the hostages released as a result of this president's efforts. And this president is working around the clock every day to deliver on the promises he made. You also look at some of the cultural issues, to abolish DEI from our federal government and our military, to effectively end men and women's sports, which is a huge common sense policy that the American people support. And then if you look at the president's strong executive orders that have effectively ended the chemical castration of young children in our country. Just today, Washington, D.C. Children's Hospital in this city has announced they are no longer going to be prescribing puberty blockers to minors. This is a huge win for America and our children. There's certainly more work to do, and the president is doing it right now, and he will continue for the next 3.5 years. But certainly we've accomplished so much in just 6 months.
Like
And
that.
honing in on this Knicks celebration is bigger than just basketball and sports. The cities are the heart of this social experiment of diversity. When you look around at every celebration we watched, it was every color, age, gender, sexuality. It didn't matter, and we were all wearing the same jersey. That's what it looks like to be American, and it happens to be New York. So
Sometimes I don't hear stuff.
You know what? I don't need to hear it from him.
yeah.
Well, you told me.
So there you have it. That's the view going off about it. You've heard my views. Let me know in the comments what you think. Because this is just a view. This is what they do. It's always something, and they always got to complain about Trump and what he's doing. But what about when this was going on at the White House? Yeah. They had a whole strip show at the White House with the whole pride thing. And listen, don't get me wrong. Listen, it's your choice. Who you want to love. Me personally, I don't care. I really don't care. Where I start caring is when you're shoving that down everyone's throat. Like, what about women's privacy? A woman should feel safe when she goes into a locker room. There are creepy dudes that are going to use this loophole in order to go into a woman's bathroom or locker room to watch her undress. It's insane. But I don't see them talking about what happened at the White House then. I don't see anybody complaining about that. I mean, I did watch Freedom 250, even though the whole thing with Strickland and, them banning him and all that from the event, which I don't really agree. I mean, it was amazing. They had a bald eagle flying over. How could you be mad at that? The men and women that fight every day in our military for us to have that right, for us to have that freedom, and all the people that want to come here because of that. There's a reason why there's millions of people trying to come over our borders every single day. There's a reason why people want to be in this country, and because this country is great. This country is amazing. We are free to do and say what we want. And, it's just like the Freedom 250 UFC event, like the beginning of it was amazing. Like the shows that they had, the fireworks going off, the red, white, and blue. It's at the White House. It's America. Just everything about it was freedom and America. Like we're American. We love being American. And if you don't love it, then leave. Like no one's forcing you to stay here. No one's saying, "Oh no, you must stay here." No, if you don't like it, go to a third world country and see how they live. I guarantee you there's no way that in hell you would live in a hut. America's just great. Like everyone that knows me knows that I am probably one of the most patriotic people out of like my circle of people. And that's like one thing that people say about me. Like, "Oh, Vinny is patriotic. He loves America." And that's how we all should be. Amazing country that we live in. And women's sports. Like men should not be in women's sports. Men genetically, like the biology of a man is stronger than a woman. Are there stronger women out there than there are men? Yeah, like I'm sure there's women out there that go to the gym every single day that are probably stronger than me. But when you go toe for toe, a man and a woman, the man's always going to proceed in that event because men are just genetically stronger than women. And to me, putting a man in women's sports and competing for the same thing is taking that away from a woman. And now we're just kind of dumping on it and saying, "Oh, well, it is what it is. Like, he thinks he's a woman, so we're going to let him compete." And all of a sudden, he can't make it in the men's division. He transfers over to the women's division, and now he's winning gold. Why do you think that is? Why? Think about it. Think about it. So, if you guys want to have trans men and women in the Olympics or have like, competitions and stuff like that, cool. That's fine. Have a separate one. Have a separate one for trans sports. Just like they have the Special Olympics for people with special needs, which is amazing. That's great. Like they can compete and they're probably better than me at most of all the stuff that they're doing. I used to be athletic. I'm not so athletic anymore. But let them have their own. Don't put a man in a woman's division and say that's right. It's not right to the woman and the women that are competing and trying to get that gold. America needs to wake up. Like I have a daughter, and there's no way in hell that I would want a man in a woman's locker room while my daughter is changing. Like that's insane. How are we okay with that? How do you say, "Oh yeah, that's okay"? Because, I mean, think about it. There's a registry for a reason. There are weird, sick people out there that enjoy that kind of stuff. And we're giving them a pass to do that. We're saying, "Oh, it's okay. Just as long as you dress up or you say that you're a woman, it's cool. Go ahead. Come in. Watch all these women, get undressed and whatever." We shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't allow that. And if we're so concerned with, giving them their rights, which is fine. Like, okay, cool. Like, you want to pretend to be a woman? That's fine. I don't really care. I like I said, I could care less. But the women should have rights too. So now you're taking women's rights and they can't say anything about it because they'll be called racist or a sexist or this or that or whatever because they don't want a dude in their locker room while they're getting undressed. Some dude coming in there to watch them and like get undressed or change or do whatever women do. And I don't know. I don't know what they do in there. They always go in groups, so who the hell knows? They should feel safe and they should have that when I allow my daughter to say, "Oh yeah, no, don't worry, go to the bathroom," like when she was young or older or whatever, that there's not going to be some dude in there watching her go to the bathroom or get changed. Every woman should feel safe when they're in those spaces. That's their safe space. Anyways, that's enough of my rant for today. I'll leave you guys with that. go ahead and like, subscribe, follow, whatever you got to do. I'm gonna keep coming out with these, and hopefully they'll get better and more enjoyable. And maybe I'll get some people to collaborate with, and have a little one-on-one session with them. But all right, enjoy your day. God bless, and God bless America.